Fed Chairman Jerome Powell is set to bring the pain. Let's talk about it. Hello everybody, Joe Werber coming at you. And on Friday, Federal Chairman Jerome Powell opened his mouth and the markets finally woke up to the reality that interest rates are going to continue to go up. I am at a loss. I don't understand this. This man has said nothing different for the last 6 months. He has said repeatedly that he is going to raise interest rates. Period. End of sentence. That's what he's going to do. Unfortunately, this time when he said it, he said this is going to cause some pain to the American public. Look, interest rates have to go up. I've said it on this channel time and time again. We need to see interest rates normalize. If you look at the history of the Fed funds rate for the last 20 years, we are very far below average, and everything has to revert back to the mean. Everything has to go back to average, so we have to raise rates. And what boggles my mind is a rising interest rate environment when you've been historically low is good for the stock market. This is a positive thing. But for some reason, it seems like for the last few weeks, the stock market has been in denial. Jerome Powell has been showing this to the stock market for months now, and they finally woke up to the reality. And as a guy, I can relate to this because sometimes I don't see what's right in front of my face. And let me give you an example. I enjoy making a ham and bean stew every fall for my family. It's something fun I like to do, but I need a stock pot to do it. I need a big old stock pot to make this large amount of soup, and I had my favorite stock pot. See, I've been using it for years, but a few years ago, we completely gutted our kitchen and redid that. So in the process, all of our pots and pans had to go away, and I relied on my wife to reorganize because she's the organizer. 3 years ago, I went to look for my stock pot. Couldn't find it. I looked and I looked and I looked and I couldn't find my stock pot. 2 years ago, I went to look for it. I couldn't find it. For the last 3 years, I could not find this stupid stock pot. And finally, about 3 weeks ago, I broke down and I bought a new one. It arrived, I stuck it away, and wouldn't you know it, the very next day, I opened up a cabinet in order to get some spices out, and guess what's at the top of that cabinet? The stock pot that I couldn't see for the last 3 years. It's been right in front of my face. Well, on Friday, the stock market found their stock pot, and it's Powell saying we are going to continue to raise interest rates. And since then, the Dow, the S&P are down about 5%, the Nasdaq's down about 6%. The positive news from this is that for the third quarter, they're still up. And there's gonna be pain. As I've said time and time again on this channel, we are going to see volatility. I do not think that this is something that's going to continue. I think the markets are gonna realize Powell's gonna do what Powell has to do to normalize interest rates. It's good for you, it's good for the economy, it's what has to happen, and eventually they're gonna stop throwing their little temper tantrum. They're gonna come back to reality that we need to have higher interest rates and this market will climb. Does that mean that he has to squash some economic growth? Yes, that's what it means. Does that mean it could push us into a real recession? We could go into a real recession. We could see unemployment go from 3.5% to 4%, which who cares? That's normal. There's nothing wrong with that. What I want to make sure he doesn't do is over push the economy to where we go from a recession into a depression. I'm hoping that he restrains himself enough and doesn't continue to push interest rates into higher and higher areas. You know, I find it interesting that inflation is running 9%, but CDs at the bank are only paying 2.5%. That's not good. Usually you see CD rates right in line with inflation, and the fact that they're that far off tells me we need to raise interest rates. We need to bring them up. And what's going to happen is over time, as interest rates come up and inflation comes down, we're going to get back to that normal. We're going to get back to where you can deposit money in a money market account and make 3-4%. You can put money in a certificate of deposit at the bank and make 4 or 5%. That is good for you. That is good for the economy. Does that mean you're going to have to pay more when you borrow money? Yeah, but that's the cost of doing business. And free money is not good long-term for this market. I'm going to keep my eye on it. We're going to be watching this. Make sure you check back. Make sure you follow up to see If the markets finally work their way out of this doldrums that they're in, this temper tantrum, when we get back to normal. But I will let you know that I am traveling for the next few weeks, so the videos are going to be a little bit sporadic. I'm just giving you a heads up. I will do my best to post from wherever I am in the world. You know, what's interesting is my wife doesn't know that I found the old Stockpot, so I will actually know when she watches this video, and I'll let you know what her reaction was. That wraps it up for this week. Thank you for watching. Check out some of my other videos. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you're always told when I post new content, and I'll see you next time.